Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. So he actually goes back about 9 yards on the return, but the interception is clean, and they have the pigskin, and they take over. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 55 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
One-handed. Love the effort.
All right, here we go.
Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more time.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now a handoff looking right. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A good pickup there, a 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Room here to run. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, how to plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. He's going to get it running right. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Redskins send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Got some room at the 30. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Right back to him on 1st down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He's to the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Got some space here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. Ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's at the 30, 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 78 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
They'll set up to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Hunter. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback.
With pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. And running with power here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, spinning away. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Spinning away. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Or the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've been...
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And a loose football into the Redskins. How did they do?
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
He'll get it up the middle. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'll be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 36 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a big mistake on the return. He's out of bounds at his own 1-yard line.
All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And now it's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I rarely question anyone's effort on the field. But normal, you give up a touchdown like that, a long-distance play, there's usually not a lot of resistance on the extra point. In this case, though, boy, they bowed their backs and got after it, didn't they?
Yeah, a little revenge. Nicely done.
Yeah, way to go. Get in there, block it, and show them that they're still fighting.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They go play action here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Shepard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until